What is MTM? MTM of a forward, right, is not simply derived from spot change, right? I'll give an example before coming to this table. If day 1, right, spot is 86 plus forward is 1 rupee 20 paisa, 87.20 is the forward for 6 months, for example. Now Q1 end, right, if the spot is 87 plus the premium for the remaining 3 months, because the forward is no longer 6 months now, the forward rate for the original expiry date, which is just 3 months to go, is, let's say, 50 paisa, right? Now this rate becomes 87.50, right? So you did a forward at 87.2, you have now it is at 87.50. The difference is 0.3, 30 paisa. This 30 paisa is what you will take as the P&L. So here I'll again write it here. So Q1, Q2, this is the receivable and this is the forward. Receivable, the spot change happened 86 to 87 is minus 1 rupee, right? So 1 rupee positive because receivable is now getting revalued better rate. So plus 1, right? The forward MTM is minus 0.3, right? So the difference in the P&L for that quarter, you will take it as 0.7. Next, say Q2, the spot, let's assume, stays, let's say, comes back to 86.50. And the forward obviously has matured by the end of Q2. So there is nothing to be done here. So the mark to market of this forward, right, is how much at the end of Q2? 8650 minus 87.20, which is the rate. So minus 0.7, right? So you will say that 8720 is it's a sell forward, right? So your original forward rate was 8720, you're settling at 8650. So it's actually a gain, right? So plus 0.7. So you'll write plus 0.7 here, right? And the spot minus 0.5 because 87 at the end of the last quarter became 8650. Here you are getting total how much? You're getting a difference of plus 0.2. Sorry, 86 becoming 87 plus 1, 87 becoming minus 0.5. Okay, that is fine. Then at the end of quarter 1, 87 plus 0.5, 87.5, and your thing is at 87.2, so it is minus 0.3. Okay, so what is happening here is that in the first quarter, 86 plus 1 rupee 20 paisa is 87.20. Now that is the starting value. By the end of the first quarter, 87 is the spot. So your forward MTM will be 87 for the remaining maturity 50 paisa. So 87.50 is the rate for the next 3 months. So you are losing 30 paisa, right? So plus 1 minus 0.3, 0.7. Then in the second quarter, 87 has become 86.50. So you have taken 50 paisa loss on the receivable, right? So the forward MTM is 0.7 positive, correct? Now this is wrong. Positive, which means the total MTM at the end of the quarter is 0.7, but at the beginning of the quarter was minus 0.3, right? So effectively, the change in MTM, so this is the change in MTM, right? That's a P&L. So minus 0.3 became plus 0.7. So you will take this as plus 1 change in MTM. So you will get 0.5. So the total P&L is how much? 0.7 plus 0.5 is equal to 1.2. 1 rupee 20 paisa. Now from this, what are we getting? Simply the change in FX rate is the FX gain loss on the underlying. The change in MTM is the MTM gain loss on the forward, and the total is 1 rupee 20 paisa. Now this is logical, right? Because 1 rupee 20 paisa is the total forward premium you got on day 0. Now this is the fair value accounting that you will do on a normal, in any standard accounting that you follow, IFRS 9, Ind AS 109. This is what you will do. The point is, in the 2 quarters, the total 1.2 rupees is your potential benefit you are getting, which is logical. 1 rupee 20 paisa forward premium, that's your gain, right? Now the point is, in an ideal world, if you look at this forward, the forward is spot plus an extra benefit or cost. If you're an exporter, it's a benefit, receivable. If it's a payable, it's a cost of 1 rupee 20 paisa. Now, if you notice, ideally, you should have had 60 paisa in each quarter, right? Because it's a 6-month contract. If forward premium did not change much, you should have had a breakup of this 1 rupee 20 paisa total P&L into 0.6, 0.6 each quarter, ideally. But here you had 0.7, 0.5. Well, this is something which is not in your control. So keep this in mind, that when you do a hedging of a recognized item like a receivable or a payable cash flow, then your total P&L, while end of the period is the same, but the amortization of that P&L across quarters is not in your control, because the forward premium change need not be, see, if it is 1 rupee 20 paisa per 6 months, it necessarily does not mean that every month market will remove 20 paisa forward premium, right? It will not. You have no control of this. So this illustrates the problem in the normal accounting way of doing it. But you might say, it's just a 10 paisa difference, right? Hardly matters, which is true actually, in the sense that for a forward, you are getting the change in the forward premium for a forward is not too high. It's not too drastically different quarter on quarter in general if the forward is short term. Now imagine, right? You replace the same thing now with a long term FX loan. Let's say 5 years. Same thing. Now, what you're actually doing is, here the forward premium is more like 13, 14 rupees, right? Let's say you're hedging an FX loan for 5 years. Your forward will be 86 plus, let's say, 1400 rupees, just example, right? Now, the quarter on quarter movement here, it just, this is 50 paisa, right? 1 rupee 20 paisa became 50 paisa here, which means in the first quarter, the forward premium drawdown was 70 paisa, right? But imagine if it is 14 rupees here, logically speaking, let's take it 15 rupees for rounding off so that I can easily work the number. 15 rupees for 5 years means 3 rupees per annum. 5 years, right? 3 rupees per annum. So at the end of the quarter, you're supposed to amortize 75 paisa roughly, right? That's the run rate that you should expect. So if that run rate were maintained every quarter, the same methodology will work. Instead of receivable, you have a loan payable and so on. And you will see that your cost will work out to around 75 paisa per quarter, logically, if forward premium is well behaved. But this 15 rupees is a very volatile number if in a long-term scenario. Why is it volatile? Well, long-term forward premium is not like derived like the way your short-term forward premium is, right? It's not traded like the short-term forward premium. So long-term forward premium depends on MIFOR and so on, which are very volatile.